What's more festive than Norfolk State landing Mike Vick right now? Hope you had a nice Christmas, fellas, because today in College Football 25, we're going to give the Spartans a fighting chance in the FBS. And when it comes to fighting, Mike Vick knows a thing or two about it. Serving in prison for almost 2 years while tacking on another 3 years of probation in 2007, that is 5 years to be precise. And that's exactly the amount of time that we're going to give Mike Vick to turn around the Spartans. I can't wait to see the dogs he builds up on this roster. All right, enough puns. In the spirit of Christmas, I will choose to forgive and get off his case. People can change. Projecting a similar effect to primetime in the Colorado Buffaloes, Mike Vick headlines have the 757 buzzing. And because of this, all recruiting restrictions are off in this rebuild. He is about to wheel and deal. In fact, the Mike Vick effect is so powerful that he can go out and steal 2 players of his choice from the current 2024-2025 transfer portal. Boom, that's exactly what he does. Malik Murphy and Eric Singleton Jr. are shining gems atop of a rather mediocre roster. Malik Murphy, former Texas and Duke quarterback, no doubt the raw potential is there. It's time to take that next step under Mike Vick's instruction and become extraordinary. Eric Singleton Jr., the Georgia Tech receiver, a true threat on the field, paired nicely with Haynes King these 2 seasons, but he's now going to pair nicely with Malik Murphy and the Norfolk State Spartans. In my past rebuilds, I was pretty devout at getting equal amounts of gameplay each year of the rebuild, but I'm coming to realize that most of the action in the fireworks happens year 3 and beyond, so I'll show you where the team is at in current state, but expect a crescendo as we get into some fireworks in the end of this rebuild. And like I said earlier, the goal is to compete for a national championship by year 5, or else Mike Vick's time's up. Without further ado, let's go ahead and scan this recruiting board. I'm going to sort it by interest on the right, and boom, we got a 2-star. I'm gonna skip. 3 stars we'll go ahead and consider, and I should probably clarify that I'm skipping on 2 stars because of the Mike Vick effect. Like I explained earlier, he doesn't need to stoop to that level. Just the name brand of the man will bring in plenty of prospects. Combing through some of the top athletes, we got a lot of defensive line emphasis. Stanley Sheed, a 5-star gem, would be an amazing addition straight out of Cincinnati, Ohio. For Malik Murphy, in a couple years of eligibility, we need to find him some tools like Taj Eakin, maybe someone on the ground in the trenches. That's Max Obi, 98 speed corner. No shortage of good options, and better yet, we got quite a few actually interested in our first year recruiting. I should have mentioned that the Spartans are not going into the group of 5. They're going straight to the Power 5, so the schedule is going to be brutal. You see the usual ACC suspects, but then Kansas State, Arizona in week 0 before we defend our home for the first time against UNLV. All really good teams in this last campaign of college football. Mr. Coach Mike Vick is going to be tested early, and he better be a quick learn, because if you didn't know, Mike Vick has a lack of coaching experience, but he believes the dog in him, the leadership he brings will be enough. A little feature, but something that'll be helpful for College Football 26 is to bring in your own coordinator group in year 1. Instead, I'm going to have to wait out a year before I can fire Patrick and Eric Luke, because if we're going to build Norfolk State right, we're going to need to bring in Vick's chosen few. Oof, man, okay, game 1 under the belt. You got to get that one down the hatch. Unfortunately, 28-10 defeat on the road. Pretty similar in terms of total offense. It's just the fact that turnovers and conversions when the down mattered most, we couldn't get it done, and they did. Besides a couple weaker opponents in the ACC, this might be our best chance to get a win, so let's go hog wild. Taking a look at the Spartan unis, we got the home, we got the away, and then we just got the alternate away. So 3 unis, all very clean nonetheless. But come on, man, tell me who's ready to see Norfolk State in action. Little screen, the inaugural home game. Welcome to the Power 5. 4th and 2, we're going to audible here, going a slant, see if Murphy can connect with his newest transfer receiver. Singleton hangs in there, wasting no time to build big game camaraderie. Murphy is loving it. And hey now, so is Mike Vick, coaching his first ever game. Hold on, I do need a second to pause and just observe the crowds. They packed this place. To me, it looks like Norfolk State is serious about their squad. And on that note, let's jump back into Malik. The offense working it here against UNLV, trying to show his scrambling ability. Just does the loop-de-loop around the defensive end and couldn't escape. That was wild. I thought for a second he was going to elude all that. But what you can't elude is success. Malik Murphy, that man, first touchdown at the home stadium for the Spartans. That last play symbolic of the first brick in a foundation we're building for 5 years. Most certainly we will have our share of challenges. I expect a lot of ups, a lot of downs, but the defense, star of the show right here, interception by Solomon. First year coming out of the FCS, they have to play inspired. They're going to be down against the count so much, and wow, 2 interceptions, 2 costly plays by UNLV's offense. What are they thinking? You're not getting past this Spartan front. Might have to give them a nickname, maybe like the Phalanx. That Phalanx is close-knit, they're strong. Octavius Terrell, big turnover. That's 2 for UNLV. Let's go win. Unfortunately, we got placed at the inches line, so we're just gonna try to get some space before we just flat out go air raid. And oh no, we're just gonna flat out give it back. Malik Murphy tried hitting Singleton, and we trade blows. What a costly mistake for the Spartan faithful. They did not want to come and witness this in the home opener. 4th down, needing to just extend this drive. We'll scramble. I see our receiver here in McClawler, open and free. Despite keeping the drive alive, we couldn't muster up points, so it's really down to this. Murphy, all things considered, struggling here a bit against UNLV. They may be from the Mountain West, but their defense is solid. Boise State can attest to that. Time to let it fly. Sending Singleton out and about. Let's look for our top man. Not quite. One last garbage time march down the field amounted to nada. So 24-7 UNLV wins. This is going to be a long rebuild ahead. You can tell gaping holes everywhere you look. Just got to plug said holes. We will be lucky to win 1 game, and you know what hurts the most is that a lot of these prospects value a championship contender, as makes logical sense from 5-star prospects. So some of the guys we might have had a chance just because of Mike Vick's name, we're losing out on, locking us out. In cases like this, we'll need to go full throttle for guys like Alani Dahl, a 6'3", 5-star possession tight end that values playing time above anything. If you want to play, hit up our guy Mike Vick. He'll get you connected and a shot at the league. For Mike Vick and the crew, the path is just getting rockier. 48-7, the latest embarrassment. Cam Ward went off, and Malik Murphy disappointed. Getting Eric Singleton 2 catches for 17 yards is criminal. So here in year 1, currently sitting at the bottom, the only winless team in the ACC, and it's going to be that way for a while. I'll spare you the week-to-week details because I think you get the gist of where season number 1 is going to go. We're getting squeaked out, or I should say eked out, by Taj Eakin and other schools. Really going to have to do our best to double down on anyone that bats an eye our way. It is impressive enough to see Mike Vick getting some 5-star recruits in year 1 and actually serious about it. But as I just mentioned, it's a whole nother story to close, especially in the era of NIL. Get ready to get locked out by a lot of schools that can simply go somewhere else for more bag. Mike Vick's going to need to hit the drawing board because he's already in the hot seat. How can he turn this around? About halfway through year 1, we're yet to win our first game. I'm getting a little concerned that Malik Murphy might not have enough it factor in him to carry the team, and that's completely fine. I understand it's difficult, so I'm going to open up my options to quarterbacks like Nico Savage. It may say he's a bust, but 91 speed, 93 throw power. No one's pursuing him. He was just sitting there, and I thought I'd be a savage for not recruiting him. Finally, the cold spell is broken. The first recruit to commit to Mike Vick in his new regime, it's Javier Brazil, right outside linebacker gem. This Walnut Creek native, 88 speed, 90 excel, good zone, solid pursuit and tackling. He's going to be a force on the defense. When Prime came to Colorado, he at least won a handful of games and turned the trajectory around. As it stands right now, we're losing pretty much everyone. We were quick to overlook 3-stars, and in hindsight, that was a mistake. You know what they say, hindsight 2020. We're gonna right our wrongs where we can, because maybe this is the better path to building momentum. And bingo, first guy we scout out, 3-star Isaac Coleman, is a gem. Let's get them. It's official. 12 games in the books. 0-12. What was our closest showdown? Certainly not these last couple weeks getting blown out. It looks like this game against Louisville within 8 got outdone by a long shot on offense. Malik Murphy with a 38% completion rate. Yeah, Norfolk was doomed in the ascent to the FBS year 1. Keeping a close eye on the championship game because that's where Mike Vick wants to go. The ACC has North Carolina and his alma mater, Virginia Tech, squaring up. On the recruiting front, the attention has turned to 3-star prospects, trying to make a final push because our recruiting class was atrocious. The worst class in all of college football. I don't think I've ever actually had that accolade attached to any of my rebuilds. We just did it all wrong, targeting people too big for their bridges, and we go 0-12. We couldn't hang. Somehow Washington State made it to the finale. What a path through Penn State, Alabama, and Missouri, just to get dropped off 52-0 by the Ducks. And that's going to cap off the end of year 1. I'm just glad we can put it behind us. Malik Murphy, 2,200 yards, 17 touchdowns. No rushing game, and really a letdown from Eric Singleton. And oh boy, here it is. Mike Vick's first transfer portal list. He's losing a lot. Let's just hope with this next week when the portal opens, a big list is waiting in return. Before we get to that, our commit list increased by 1. A 4-star receiver, 6'4" from Georgia, Brian Gaylord. And officially, we can pursue the rest of our prospects because the window is open and the battle is hot. But yes, was it ever in doubt Mike Vick was going to pull some strings? Plenty of studs interested in the Spartans. So the strategy is simple. Take the young freshmen and sophomores with bright futures and try to bring them in. Here's our list of underclassmen, and I would feel 10 times better if we can land 2/3 of them. A few more commits to put into our back pocket, keeping in mind for this next season of football. We need every single one of these dudes. Marion Horn, what a swing for Mr. Vick, pulling him from Oklahoma. Even Jacob Emming, an Iowa linebacker. That's how you improve your draft class. I feel much better about the 61st class after 1 year rather than the worst class in all of college football. Year number 2 underway. Mike Vick had a very intense offseason training his boys up, and that's paid some early dividends as we now stare at a 80 overall defense and a squad that might be able to win their first game. Led by new transfer players Tyquan King, Impact Jacob Emming, and oh yeah, day 1 star Javier Brazil, right outside linebacker. The Spartans' first commit. It does help a ton that our top 2 corners are transfers, led by Maurice Horn from the Sooners. It's incredible because all of a sudden I feel a bit more assurance, especially with a dog like Frank Bartu. He may be normal dev, but let me tell you, this has got to be one of the best 3-star busts I've ever found. 95 throw power, 92 agility, 80 accuracy across the board, and 88 speed, 95 excel. What is this Houdini-like stuff? Plus, he's got Silver Magician, Option King, Gold off-platform, Platinum winning time. Mike Vick has his successor. Year 2 is the year we get our swagger back. Nate Folkerts knows it. Preseason commit. Vick's got the hounds out for prospects. It's game week. We're taking on the Jags on paper, finally at parity, if not better than the Jaguars. Maybe the start of year 2 will be better than the entirety of year 1. An infusion of 15 more talented players taken over. But that doesn't change the fact that Malik Murphy is still at the helm. The signal caller left Texas and Duke for this. Yeah, I think you see the scoreboard. We barely got any moments to play. It's a 34-0 romping. So bad that Bartu, our true freshman that we just found, straight out of high school and straight into the league. Touchdown. He looks solid, doing more than what our other friend Malik Murphy could do. How embarrassing for the Spartans to start the year like this. I do like the idea of getting more film here from Frank Bartu. Like I said, he has a crazy set of skills for a 3-star bust. By the time it's all said and done, we might be wondering, how could anyone rank this guy as a bust? 95 throw power. Let's test it right here and just let one rip. But if that's not enough, he has 95 acceleration. If Bartu continues to show glimpses of stardom, I'm going to be forced to play him next week. Feels good to get another freshman involved. That was our tight end signee from our freshman quarterback. 1-2. Might be working on something special. Number 86. That's the number you got to watch out for. But instead, don't need to watch out for him here. You need to watch out for Bartu, number 3. He's playing a lot like his coach used to do, huh? Mike Vick, stretching the field, scrambling machine. He's doing it. But you can only do it for so long when you're just given a spot start in the fourth quarter. You put up 2 touchdowns, you bring it within 20. That's all she wrote, but you've just earned yourself the start next week. Vick, reminiscing over Bartu's performance, saw glimpses of his younger self. So he's gonna ride with them in this one against the Astronauts and see if that will do the trick. Desperately seeking for their first win in school existence. Scratch that, I meant FBS existence. It feels like it's been forever since they've gotten a win, so I'm sure some folks feel like it's been an eternity, and a win here would just go a long way. Hey, it didn't pay off in the first drive, and some fans think that we gave up on Malik Murphy too soon. I don't really get those arguments when we went 0-12 all year. Malik Murphy had a full season to show us why he's different, so that's exactly why we're passing the baton off to Bartu, who just hits Singleton Jr. on that double stutter. That was a clean play, clean move, clean design. It's essential Mike Vick wins this game, otherwise he better consider quitting. Like, how can you seriously come into a program, bring him out of the FCS, and then make him worse? That's exactly what you cannot do. He's not gonna have to worry about it right now because his Spartans just took a lead. Right before half, let's chuck one last bomb up, seeing if we can get any more points heading into halftime. No, sir. Thanks to Bartu, we will start off the second half with our opening drive and get some points. He has a knack for scrambling. Precisely what we need, a Mike Vick prototype. It's fitting, if anything. I know it's the FCS Astronauts, and we got elite receiver Singleton Jr. dropping balls, but I really hope the man can keep it going in the ACC. He will surely get tested, no question about it. Nonetheless, we could not afford to miss the Spartans' first victory. If we can hang in there. What was that blown defense? All right, Norfolk State, let's ride. Just got to finish this game without any major blemishes, and that is a chunk play for McClawler, 3rd and inches. Looks like they're all stacking it up, so I'm going to audible to this Titan attack because they think a run is coming, and boom, get bamboozled. Hello? That's twice now that Singleton's not on the same page. Am I missing something there? I don't think I did anything wrong on my end. Let's just be grateful that it did not come back to bite us. Instead, 1 first down away from finishing off this game, and yeah, why not use your legs to do it? All things considered, this game was way too close for comfort. I don't care what the outcome says. 21 or 28-14. It's disappointing times, no doubt, to be a Spartan fan. Luckily, Vick's gonna go back to the drawing board and dial up all the homies and bring them out. So have faith in the process as we put up another touchdown, up by 2 scores. Trust in the build in progress. Year 2 is not going to be pretty, but for now, it's glorious. Let's celebrate the 28-14 victory. At long last, first time promoted to the FBS. They have a victory, but they haven't beat an FBS team. That's for another day, but freshman Bartu just finished developing from puberty a couple of years ago, and now he's playing on the big stage. Oh man, just soak it in. A 1 in the win column. Still a long way to go, but it just feels good. Speaking of feeling good, Vick's feeling really good about some of these prospects and their potential. Some physical receivers, top-notch corners, secondary players, you name it, we got it. First time one of our players is getting recognized with weekly honors. ACC Defensive Player of the Week, freshman Draymond Gates, right outside linebacker. His 3 big sacks takes us to the middle of the season. It wasn't enough to beat him. Miami whooped up on us. We came close against Boise State, but yeah, no real competition outside of that. Frank Bartu was efficient. Singleton cashed in. Running game was real good, but not good enough for Dubar and Maddox Madsen. We can hold fast and trust the process, knowing that we're finally getting some recruits like Bernie Avant, a safety with 92 speed, ready to strengthen the Spartan phalanx. After 11 brutal weeks, we finally have a big win worth sharing. Lee Figures, go figure. The physical 5-star from Tomball, Texas, ready to ball on that gridiron. He's coming out with 90 spec catch already equipped. Yeah, I can't wait to see this man in action. Year in review, you guessed it, no more wins after that first one against the Astronauts, but we came close in many occasions. Wake Forest, 36 piece. Gotta give kudos to Bartu, LSU, tossing 4 touchdowns and 300 yards. Only losing by 3 to Syracuse, 4 to North Carolina, 3 to Louisville, 3 to third-ranked Boston College. Mike Vick hates getting blown out by his alma mater, and, well, Miami. But he can't be too picky. This is some progress. All in all, we need to win more games ASAP starting in year 3. Otherwise, that 5-year window is clearly in jeopardy. Wow, okay, talk about a turn of events for Preston Stone. He hit the portal after riding pine for SMU. KJ7 took over. So fast forward a couple years later, he takes over for Alabama and wins the Heisman. We are nowhere near having that kind of talent, but it is an encouraging sign in early national signing day before we can recruit other transfers. We're 72nd. 2 4-stars, a 5-star, and a handful of 3s. And they're no pushovers by any means. Gem 4-star, Gem 3-star, Gem 3-star. Oh yeah, Gem 3-star. Not a bad call rocking with Frank as a true freshman. I can't get too mad about 2,400 yards and 23 touchdowns. Not to mention another 400 on the ground. Really upped Eric Singleton's relevance as well. Hold on, Draymond Gates, the freshman with 10.5 sacks. You'd love to see it. Outside of that, not much else to see. Congrats to the Kansas State Wildcats for winning it all. But for us in this crew, it's off to the offseason. Not before Shaquille Buck decides to buck on over to Norfolk. Eric Singleton's played enough football for Mike Vick. He's going pro. Losing other players here like Dante Carter, that's a big loss. The rest of these guys we can manage. This is what we're talking about. 4-star prospects making themselves available. Just in the nick of time too, because I'm ready to make a splash. We've been biding our time for too long. It's time to spring into action. Final results are in and it just keeps getting better. 42nd best class. Watch out, Norfolk State on the rise. And it's even more evident now that we're an 84 overall team, 84 offense, 85 defense, up to par with really where an ACC team should be. I guess I shouldn't be so stunned that Bartu didn't get much of an improvement. He is only normal dev after all. But this Taylor DeMarco guy, I remember we picked up the 3-star and I didn't expect him to compete for the job like that. Heck, our best choice might be going back to Malik Murphy in year 3, 88 overall, the senior, ready to put it out there. The backfield's going to be led by Forrest. Run, Forrest, run. And the receiving room is led by a couple young underclassmen, including newest impact addition Lee Figures. Even the depth utility players like Shaquille Buck and Vi Little, they will all play an intricate role in the later stages of this rebuild. With Michael Bodine III finishing up his collegiate career, it was massive that we were able to flip 4-star 6'6" James Office. With other additions like star Bernie Avant, I'm finally feeling confident going into year 3 that we can muster up a handful of wins. And we'll get our first test to really show what we got when we're on the road at Syracuse before jumping into the usual slate of suspects. Critics still counting us out, projecting us to finish dead last, but our overall is better on paper than Duke, Cal, Stanford, Virginia, Louisville, Georgia Tech, NC State, Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, Syracuse, not North Carolina, not SMU, Pittsburgh technically, not Florida State, what a surprise, Boston College, not Clemson, not Miami. So on paper, we should be in the top half. No first team or second team all ACC selections, but it's the preseason. We'll prove them wrong. The stage is set. Mike Vick in his make or break season, year number 3. The fans are growing impatient. There isn't a similar primetime effect. Our coach is 1 in 23 the last 2 seasons. A new era begins now, and it starts by squeezing this orange. Results off the rip. 7-0. Malik Murphy and the Spartans are cruising their way down the field into first and goal territory. Why not let Forrest run? I guess that's why. Instead, we'll look for our undersized tight end. Nope, he's not open, and we're gonna eat a sack fumble. We're awake now, freshly squeezed. Now that we got that out the system, good defensive performance from the orange, and they hold us to a shanked field goal. Defensive side of the ball need to play equally as tough, even though Vic's forte is offense. Malik Murphy shaking off the second quarter rust, led his team right down into the red zone once more, Booten. And now how will they finish? Just a clean old touchdown, up 14-zip. That was Office, our true freshman, already getting some play time. 6'6", a big target, no doubt, and we're on the road. Upset special in the making. 2 minutes to drive. Syracuse answered back pretty quick there, so we got to hold our horses before calling some sort of upset. No way. Thought we had it all there on one big shot. Instead, we're going to go back to playing drive by drive. It's go time, minute and 20 to work. Sideline, Malam, he's got it. Cuse, of course, challenging it. It was close, but I think he had possession. Yes, sir. Monster sack just put us a little bit further out of range, but nothing we can't respond with a big bomb to our tight end. The senior, he's undersized. He's more like a receiver, but that's exactly what the doctor asked for. Marched down the field with efficiency, looking to finish it. There it is. Touchdown, Spartans. Mike Vick loving this offensive explosion in the first half. 21 points. That's almost on par with what they were able to score all last year. Every game. Syracuse is a good team, no question. As you can tell, they're responding, keeping it a one possession ball game until we just got a huge pick here by Davis. Does he have daylight to take it back? Not quite, but we'll take the turnover. Key plays from key players. I believe that was one of the transfers from back in the day. It's the fourth quarter, meaning it's closing time. Gotta make good decisions here. Gotta play stingy defense like that. So much for playing it conservative. It's third down. Gonna need to take a shot here, but nothing's open, so we'll use the scramble drill, pick up 9. And we could shoot ourselves in the foot if we don't convert. I'm risking it. Fourth down. It opens up. There we go. First down. As long as we don't turn the ball over, this could be wraps. Time difference, just a split second off, so we're going to have to run the play. 5 yards away from a first. Now 3 yards. The blitz comes in. We get around, put on a move. First down. One more timeout to burn, and then we can call it a ball game. Let's give Malik Murphy a Mike Vick classic read option. The ball is in his hands to end this game, and he's going to take off. Again, this is what he teaches them to do. He's building agile runners, guys that can finish it. Now, on that note, it's fourth down. There's about a 20-second difference from the game clock. If we don't pick up this first down, Syracuse will have it with 20 seconds, but they have no timeouts, and they need that touchdown, so not feeling too scared about it. 5, 4, 3. Let's just keep it with Malik. Cuts up field, and the big man wins it. As he comes back to the line just to soak it in one more time, Syracuse in disbelief. Mike Vick, 1 in 23 as a coach, now 2 and 23. Starting off year 3 with a bang. Player of the game, Malik. Full steam ahead, right? Not quite. Falling victim to 2 points to Rice, 8 to SMU, and 30 to NC State. What in the blue moon happened here? I do know CJ Bailey cooked us a new one, and it looks like Malik Murphy had a bad day. But how could we breeze over the fact that we actually won a second game? 23-14 over Georgia Southern. 0 wins in year 1, 1 win in year 2. 2 wins in year 3. Let's make it 4 to 5 by the end of the season. All is definitely not lost, especially on the recruiting front. We're picking up such steam, such vigor that guys like Ben Francisco, one of the best players in the nation, a 5-star right end with absolutely disrupting abilities. 89 excel, 87 finesse, 84 speed out of high school. What are they feeding these guys? Just like Bryce Reddick, we're making a run for him too. Maybe a new partner on the defensive line. Still hanging around the mix for guys like Tony Wakefield. And yes, we also landed a 6-star right tackle. Offensive line getting a much needed boost. Never hurts to have a backup plan, and I love D'Anthony Jones. I absolutely love this man. Vic loves this man. 84 speed, 94 excel, 96 throw power. He actually is closer to a Vic prototype than any of the quarterbacks before. He's got the cannon, he's got the wheels, and he's ready to take off. And he's got a bruiser to join him in the backfield. It's Darrell Bean. Try climbing up the beanstalk and making a tackle. Bean will finish you. Not before he jerks you around a little bit with the 85 truck. We needed a free safety, and 1 week later, we have our answer. Cam Mears, 6-star. Welcome to Norfolk State. What if I told you the early success was a facade? We got cranked by Louisville, came close to Virginia, squeaked one out by 1, so we did get 3 wins on the year. Wake Forest was the victim. In that game, we can chalk it up to 2 tutties from Malik Murphy and a scamper from Forest. Other than that, yeah, it was pretty disappointing again. We finished not last in the ACC. Yes, let's go. We're second to last. It's a Christmas miracle. The bracket shaped up like this. Pittsburgh is the ACC representative along with Florida State. And shoot, I can't forget Clemson got in there too, so 3 ACC teams. Shocking the nation, but no one here at Norfolk State. This is exactly what we expect to see from our crew ramping up. Mr. Vick finally getting some experience under his belt and showing off with a massive class. Potentially the quarterback of the future in D'Anthony Jones. The NIL fund is growing, and he just has a way to get people to commit with all of his pipeline connections. Wow, what an extravagant bracket. South Alabama went far, knocking off Pitt, Nebraska, Clemson, and then just got smoked by the Seminoles. So congrats to Florida State. Looks like they've turned around their losing ways. So there's no doubt that the ACC is one of the toughest conferences out here in 2026. But I still expect better from our quarterback. Had a tough time getting the run game established, and Lee figures with a solid freshman season, I think he can step it up in the next campaign. Solid contribution from a few defensive linemen and 2 picks from Ish Davis. Horn might have only had 1 int, but he was clamping receivers down left and right. Graduation from Malik Murphy and a few other key players, but Brian Gaylor's just leaving us because there's not enough brand exposure, supposedly. Buddy was injured most of the year and didn't do much anyway. The curse of getting your team to a good spot. No one in the transfer portal wants you because they know they won't be able to start. So I'll look at that and smile, knowing that I'm content with the class we're bringing in. Major leap going into year 4 for Javier Brazil, 92 on paper. Darren Bragg up to 87. That's something to brag about. The linebackers bringing the heat. It's that time of the rebuild with 2 years remaining on Mike Vick's contract to put up or shut up. That's right. We need to show out with his 86 overall crew. My hopes are a little dashed just glancing at this schedule. It looks rough and tough. No easy wins to be found. Vick, when getting his preseason notes together, has decided to go back to the Frank Bartu. Couple inspirational games under his belt. He understands the offense, and he's better equipped with more throwing, more speed, better accuracies. Ready to see an encore from Frank. In the running room, it was tough, but we decided to start Daryl Bean, the true freshman. He was a gem 4-star with massive speed, upside, and break tackle ability. Wide receiver 1, go figure. Similar case over here. The time to win is now, so let's begin the youth movement, giving him as many snaps as possible. Ben Francisco, welcome to the fray. Oh yeah, I'm sure it would be nice to introduce you to the future D'Anthony Jones, Mr. Impact. Cannot wait for him to touch the pigskin. Your starting running back, Darrell Bean, elite development. A little bit of a deal breaker, but we're gonna work him in as running back numero 1. Lee Figures doing what Lee Figures does, but it's definitely gonna help to bring in Lee Pilares, normal dev but high overall, as well as 5-star freshman Tony Wakefield. Trust me, if it ain't this year, which it's probably not, there's a good chance next year could be our big run. Ben Francisco, no questions asked here. Even guys like Tramel Aguilar quietly fitting in as 3rd string linebacker, but elite development. How about your elite starting free safety? Vic needed one. He got one. Sleep on the Spartans at your own peril. Still no first team or second team preseason bids, as well as critics slandering our name once more, projected to finish second to last. The most critical year is now, so let's get after it. Vic really intentional in the early stages of recruiting. Gonna look for this baddie, Anthony Baddie that is, platinum jammer, and a natural man-to-man corner. Sammy O'Leary can ruin a day or two, and then you get to these gem 4-stars, 3 of them, 2 DBs, Jose Lelos, 96 speed, George Handy, 97 speed, Ian Peace, gonna be delivering bone-crushing blows, the opposite of a peaceful player. Really, really like these 5, and it addresses every need, especially in the secondary, if we're gonna make that final push next year. It's game week for your Spartans, and no doubt a big one, traveling to Death Valley facing the Tigers. It's only fitting we check in and see how the year 4 crew is shaping up. R2 and Bean in the backfield, that's a mean 1-2. I mean, heck, if we can hang here, we can hang with anyone. Love the refreshed focus on the run game, but with Malik graduating, we get to see what the arm talent of Frank Bartu looks like after a year development. When in doubt, we got D'Anthony on the bench. We'll be keeping a close eye on him if the time becomes necessary. Couple stars on this defense, new to the scene. It'll be nice to see him step up, but we didn't get any hero play from the corner there, just got burnt. And LSU wide receiver university saying it's go time. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried about this opponent. As aforementioned, there is no easy gimme game on this schedule, but go figure, touchdown, Norfolk State. We answer right back. He's putting them to sleep. Just beautiful pitch and catch from this tandem right around the corner. and in there. That touchdown was tough from Bartu, but we'll need another one if we're to keep up with LSU. We got options to do it. Figures one of my favorite on this offense. He's making them grabs. Remember, he came out of high school with 90 spec catch. Expect him to go up and make those kind of plays. Yes, sir. The trusty steed for Frank Bartu. I expect him to rely on him a whole lot this season. And just like this, he's going to take a shot for it all. He's got it. Touchdown, quarter strike, precision snipe. Let's go. Go figures. This sophomore is truly special. He has NFL talent written all over him. Mike Vick absolutely loves this. Suddenly, his Spartans are going toe-to-toe with the LSU Tigers. Well, that was before Hurley and the Tigers re-game planned, came into the second half on a mission, and they're not going to escape that sack. No way. Ben Francisco, it's the freshman. He also is making a huge splash against a top-tier team. That is massive. We're getting key contributions from the future of Norfolk State. It's on full display. Still hope. Just need to connect here on third down. Keep it simple. And another figures connection. 7 touchdowns, 132 yards, and 2 grabs, taking over this game. We'll go with a jet touch pass. Let Peaks peek around the corner and plunge on it. This is not a drill. Spartan defense held the Tigers to a 4th down. We're getting a punt and a chance to win. Frank the Tank Bartu. Go ahead, make my day. You've learned a lot from Vic, from Malik Murphy. Put it all on the line. Looking for office early in this drive, but we'll take Peaks over the middle, running rampant, and I believe this team is bringing in some serious momentum. 3rd and 3, I think we should just hand this one off. Try to fight for a few more yards. That'll do. It's a play action, and we'll see if any of our tight ends get free. They don't. Our quarterback will slide after picking up 9. High IQ play, perfect for the moment. 1st down. 1st and goal, hurrying to the line, out to his right. He's got an angle, and he's got 6. That is the lead with a minute left over LSU. And I can't make this up. One play goes by. It's a turnover. Norfolk State on the precipice of victory. Let's go ahead and pass the rock because I think they're expecting run. We need a 1st down. Don't want to mess this opportunity up. Somehow they were ready for that. But are they ready for this? Figures. Corner. We have to go for it. They still have all their timeouts. I don't trust the defense as much as I trust the O, and that's why. Case and point. James Office secured it, and you look at this. Victory formation. Norfolk State has upset LSU in the opener. What a time to be alive, Norfolk. Splash the Gatorade on Mike Vick. Shout out to the whole crew that kept on believing 4 years now into the rebuild. Phenomenal stuff from Frank. Hats off. Well, shoot, it's going to be like that. Mike Vick's going to need to turn his attention to a new batch of recruits because 5-star Anthony Batty, Platinum Jammer, gonna be one bad Mama Jamma in our secondary. He's already committed after seeing us beat Clemson. That's right, we beat Clemson in week 3. I can't make this up. We drop it to Rice, 34-24, but then deliver the whooping to Clemson, 38-22. What kind of season will we have in year number 4? All our points back and all of our recruits targeted and delivered. We kept it targeted because we only have a few remaining needs and only one more year to make it to the ship. So it doesn't make a ton of sense to go crazy on a bunch of recruits that might never see the field. Rather, putting the effort in on the guys that will be immediate game changers is important right now. With that, it means giving the recruits intense VIP experiences, meet and greet with Mike Vick and the NFL teams, signed memorabilia, money, of course, in the NIL day. Whatever these young lads can dream of, it's theirs with Mike Vick. Marco Crecilius knows what I'm talking about. A tide is most definitely turning here. Victory over Cal and victory over Mike Vick's alma mater, Virginia Tech. I keep saying alma mater. I actually don't know if he got his college degree, but I know he played there in college, so that's why I'm referring to that. Did we find a gem or did we? Ben Francisco, player of the week, 4 sacks. That is our boy. It's actually good enough for national player of the week accolades. Huge props to Ben. And huge props to this team as we wind down the season, winning a couple games, dropping 40 pieces before barely losing to Stanford, barely losing to Pittsburgh. 2 more games to finish off, but we're bowl eligible for the first time. And with that, it is my pleasure to present to you an 8-4 Norfolk State Spartan team. We are 21st in the nation. Didn't quite make it into our ACC Championship game. Fell one win short of Stanford or Florida State, which in turn takes on the leader, Miami Hurricanes. What a shock to the system in 4th place as compared to where we were projected to be the second worst team. We'll find out very soon, but the bowl projections have us playing in the Pop-Tarts Bowl against Iowa State. Blake Barnett, masterclass season, 51 touchdowns. Not to be outdone by the best punter of 2027, Randy Dexter. And the predictions were right. We take on the Cyclones in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. The time was coming. You just had to trust. Frank Bartu, 31 touchdown tosses, the most in a season, as Leaf Figures led the team 62 yards a game. CJ Peaks with 11 scores. Ben Francisco, did he get snubbed or what? No accolades for the man with 14 sacks. Nothing for Holland or Avant. Ben Francisco, if we're not careful, he's going to leave us in a year for the NFL. So let's go ahead and jump in and check out the Pop-Tarts Bowl as we celebrate a massive turning point in this program's history, the most successful campaign for the Spartans by far. They're hungry for some Pop-Tarts to finish it off. It is unfortunate, but it is true. There is no Pop-Tart mascot in the game, but there is a sack squad. Devin Skates and these Spartans. Hoorah. Let's start off with a bang. I'm just going to let one rip. If it got open, it did not. This worked. No, dropped. I'm going to let it fly anyway. 4th down, going for it all the way, keeping it in front. First down. I don't know what release Bartu has, but I have to admit it's one of my favorite. It comes out so fast. It gives me the impression that he can withstand pressure and still deliver a dime. When you're throwing 31 touchdown passes in a season, you're bound to be doing something right. Couple kinks to work out here and there from the offensive line point of view, but these receivers, this quarterback, are ready to win. That's little Vae. We snagged him off the block a while back, a couple of years now. He cashes in for a big 6. When I say hungry for blood, I mean it. We're hungry for Pop-Tarts and Cyclones. Go ahead and pad the stats some more. You got the speed to outrun that defensive end and cash in. Get that bag, 3. I knew when we scouted out Bartu, the critics were saying he was a bust, a 3-star bust, meaning a 2-star talent. But I saw so much more, so much untapped potential. Had to give him a chance, and I'm grateful we have. It's accurate to say a 2-star talent has led the Spartans to the best season in school history. Heroes come in many shapes and forms. As exciting as this all is, I must caveat that he's normal dev and he's going to stagnate, meaning he might lose the job next year. In a fast-paced competitive sport, everyone's out to get you, out to take the job. You just got to keep working. And that's the hard part. Like I said, I really enjoy his release. He feels good to the touch, pause, but he feels really good to play with, pause. But maybe DeAnthony is a much more polished quarterback to play with, if you know what I mean. Let's put that beside us for now and just try to win a dang game. And Bartu knows how to come through in the clutch. Yes, sir. Maybe we can get some rhythm here with a slip screen, a lot of green grass ahead. He's off to the races. Run, Forrest. Haven't heard much from Figures this game. Iowa State usually has a solid DB room. Clamping him up on that last. Let's try him out again on a streak. I think he can really isolate one-on-one with any DB. All right, I get it. He's not winning this one right now. 4th down. This is it. We got a wide open tight end. Just needs to hit him, and that was airmailed, so he lost the game. I overstated. The game is not lost yet, but it can still be lost or won depending on this drive. Nifty run, picked up a 1st down. We're out of timeouts, so we need some big plays like Figures on cue. Hold your Pop-Tarts. This thing's not finished. We can go down this field and win. When I needed the team most, they have come alive in the clutch. I see an option, but I also see green grass. Bartu, another rushing touchdown. Is that 3? Yes, it is 3 for number 3 in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Really tough part about this situation is they have all their timeouts and they're down by 1 point. So field goal range, not too far away. It is within reach. And they take a risky shot that paid off. Oh no, unbelievable. They're right there essentially, but that's a big tackle. Massive TFL. It sets up a massive field goal that he squeaked in. Unbelievable. That was a deep 57-yard shot. Takes the wind right out our sails. But hold on now. I still got one last shot I'm going to let it rip to our best receiver, young gun, in and out. Congrats to Iowa State. Well fought. Hard-fought battle from the Spartans, but just like in the Battle of 300, we fall short. A deeper look at the college football bracket, we see Texas A&M squared it, won it, took down the Hogs. ACC representatives like usual, Miami, Clemson, Florida State. That very well could be our name in the next bracket. I am dumbfounded how our defensive end did not win freshman All-American. You're really telling me Javier and Earl had more than 14 sacks and disruptive plays? The good news keeps rolling. First year, no one hitting the portal. They trust in Mike's process. This is game-changing with training and results. 90 overall, that threshold finally reached. Ben Francisco, 89 overall. Watch out for our team ready to make a big splash in year 5. The final year Mike Vick has to prove the Spartans are rebuilt and primed for the FBS. In the preseason top 25, we come in number 18. And it's going to make for fireworks in week 1 when we take on Georgia in a kickoff special. Any preseason All-Americans getting recognized. None on the first team, none on the second team. Gotta be some love in the ACC finally, right? And one. Just one. Randy Dexter, the punter. The disrespect is evident. Miami bias, crazy. Good to see D'Anthony Jones work his way up the depth chart. I'm telling you right now, if anything happens to Bartu, he needs to be ready to go. He's got great speed, great change of direction, and an absolute Mahomes-like cannon. So keep that man on standby. For now, it's time for Frank to lead in his senior season. 3 freshman cornerbacks thrusted into the limelight, led by Anthony Batty, star in the making, Jose Lelos, impact reinforcement, and George Handy, elite dev. He rounds out any secondary, always lending a helping hand. Cam Mears and Avant take crucial next steps, but you can't forget Sammy O'Lear, 5-star, waiting in the wings too. A mix of experienced NFL-bound players and young studs littered across this defense. As well as the offense, they're no slouch. We're ready to make a run. Perfect game for Mike Vick to put his team on the map. It's the Dogs versus his Dogs. Simple enough. I expect fireworks. Very capable, and everyone's hungry at the prospects of a new season. Year 5. Inbound. Nothing like a ranked matchup to kick off the new year, and it's so common to see the Bulldogs boast a talented defense, so we're gonna need to be patient and find our holes. Some younger receivers taking the step up and getting some action, but you can't ever leave figures one-on-one or you'll be on the receiving end of a big play. Touchdown, number 19, Aflac kickoff. Defense, no slouch, solid depth across the board, pressure, just hunting him down. If there are critics going into this year, I'm going to watch them dissipate when we shut them up. To shut critics up, you got to beat Georgia. And wow, that dude was shot out of cannon. Thankfully, not converting didn't hurt us. We got the ball. We got new life. It's second half football. We're going to go on a strike to our tight end Fogg. Yes. Good to finally call his name, get him more involved. Him and Office 1-2 punch. Check it out. What did I say? Go figure. Am I right? Ooh, wrong. Intercepted. I thought we had that opening. Way too cute, way too fancy. I don't know what we were thinking, to be candid. That was not the right call, but that is the right play. Defense. Defense. Bringing the heat on 4th and inches. They convert. Defense has played one heck of a game, keeping us in here 7-3. I want to show my gratitude. I want to give them my sweet, sweet appreciation. Just need to clamp down number 12, Pugsley. One more time. Who's leaving this guy wide open? Can we review that? It looked like he stepped out of bounds and came back in. That's not legal, right? Well, I can't go crying about that anymore. We just have to deliver. Coming back on offense. Really just got lurked. Across the body, less juice on the throw. Yeah, that was ridiculous. 3rd down here. They're going for a crosser. They get the first down. They could ice this out. In fact, they will. So we're going to be humbled here in week 1. I want this to be a teaching moment, a vengeance moment for the rest of the season. That's painful. Dropping this to Georgia 10-7. After Georgia, we lose one more. 6-2. Campaign shaping up nice. We're the 9th projected seed. Boston College somehow projected ahead of us to get the ACC Championship, but I can't complain just seeing our name in there. Let's see how the season finishes off. Looks like we made out quite all right. A chance to secure our team, our school in ACC Championship history. 9-3, our best year yet. Bar 2 just keeps getting better. 35 tosses for 3,000 yards. And Lee Figures feasted for 11 touchdowns, 62 yards a game. Good to see Shaquille Buck getting in on the fun. Oh, stop it. You gotta be kidding me. Francisco continues to improve. 15 more sacks. Just one up to what he did last year. And Draymond Gates has always been around the conversation. Javier Brazil probably just had one of the best seasons a middle linebacker could have, racking up tackles and 8.5 sacks from that position. 3 forced fumbles and an interception. Easy to me to see how we go 9-3, what we needed to a T, and now it all boils down to one game. We win, we get a first round bye. If we lose, I don't think we make the 12-team playoff. Unless the competition shows otherwise, it's hard to argue for a 4-loss team. Love seeing our Darrell Bean out here just running people over, lowering the shoulder, cashing in. We got the lead. We tried warning people Norfolk State was coming. We're not playing around. So I'm glad to see people finally putting some respect on our name. Win and you're in. I love the new college football playoff look. I mean, come on, who doesn't? It gives teams like my Boise State Broncos, Kansas State Wildcats, or dream schools like Mike Vick's Norfolk State Spartans a legitimate chance to work hard and get a bid. Once you're in, that's all that matters. Anything goes. Looking to put the finishing touches on this game. Costly turnover here. We haven't made many of those mistakes. Frank's been pretty precise. Good to see Francisco with the star under his name. Well earned after stunting all over offenses 2 years in a row now. Freshman and sophomore season campaign. Interception by Stovall. That seals it. First down with Bean will seal it. And good night. Running over folks genty-like. Genty-like. Genty-light. Running with some bad intentions. ACC Championship player of the game goes to Bean. No doubt. 15 totes. 165 yards. Give him another touchdown. Up over 170. Tack it off with another 6. In there, 31. I need your A game going into the college football playoffs. I love some Bean. Lights, camera, action. It's time we ride high into the playoffs. Norfolk State, your ACC champions. Not only did we get in, we got a 3-seed first round bye alongside LSU, USC, and San Jose State, your most winningest championship winners. Game number 1 begins with a good old-fashioned ACC showdown at Miami, Norfolk. Isn't the Orange Bowl in Miami or Florida, somewhere around there? This doesn't seem too fair. We might have home team next to our name, but yeah, exactly. We're playing in Miami's home stadium, giving the Hurricanes essentially home field advantage. So let's come out and punch them in the mouth, get them to be reeling back one drive into this game. Let's go. Beginning the game with a run was a Mike Vick staple, getting his impression on the game. No doubt his team's ramped. We couldn't get them reeling as we were hoping, but we got another opportunity to throw it into danger. So, couple missed chances. Part 2, just be patient, trust in the program that got you here, and let's play textbook football. First and goal. Office laid out for the big catch. Run, Forrest, run. Finish the drive. 6. I knew we just need a little more time to incubate. Now that we're here, getting settled into the big sights and sounds, splash plays galore. Let's take a lead and send the hometown crowd into a frenzy. Office is an elite tight end, receiving threat. Gives me Laporta, Brock Bauer vibes. We knew they weren't going to go gently into the night. Tied up game, 3rd and 3, pushing it to the red zone. Look at this offensive line. Stars littered across the thing. I want to penetrate and make our force felt. Yeah, good luck. Couldn't penetrate nothing there. The biggest drive of Bartu's life right here with a tie game in the wings. Got all of our timeouts, so there's no need to make a bad, rash decision. Just play smart. Channel your inner Mike Vick, if you will. Gonna be constantly looking for number 19 out on the field. Figures burnt his man and kept it moving. That is huge because that play to Lee Figures just got us into field goal range. So let's go audible to a run, try to tack on a few extra yards here and there. Playing it too safe, not my brand of football. So let's pass and get that first down if we can. 3rd 3rd and inches. Forrest up the gut. Hold, blocks. Hold, no. At least it's centered. Let's wind the clock down. Mike Vick gonna burn a timeout before taking a penalty. And now 42 yards is really a chip shot for an NFL-bound kicker. I don't know if this guy has that dog in him, if you will, but it's centered up. The meter's not too crazy. Right down the gut. That is a perfect kick to give Norfolk the lead. Clutch in his jeans. 20 seconds away from an Orange Bowl victory. Just don't want to get gashed on one ginormous play. Instead, take the sack. Guess who? Ben Francisco. Essentially winning the game for his ball club. Francisco delivered the sack. That dude is clutch in a half. Another disrupted ball on the final shot. Game over. And the Orange Bowl goes to Mike Vick in Norfolk State. Dude, this is incredible. The run we're on, 5 years of rebuilding in the making, championship in sight. James Office, congrats on your player of the game. One down the hatch, we get a Fiesta Bowl against the LSU Tigers. We met these guys last season and shocked the world. Our coming out party, if you will. Now we can go ahead and make this our assert dominance party. They were on paper better than us that time. We're on paper better this time. Studied the film, full week of practice, time to ride against the Tigers. All about starting off with some momentum. So we're gonna scramble. This is dangerous territory, so let's just get that back out to our running back who's going to catch and get some positive yards. Good job, Forrest. Back to you. Psych, it's a play action. Were they ready? I don't think so, because Buck is running rampant to about the 50. Love the name for a small 5'9" player. Shaquille Buck got big potential and big skills. Nothing short about the package he offers. Just like Bordeaux, man, he has been tried and true, delivering pass after pass. Out of all the big signings we had later in this rebuild, I'm most happy with Bordeaux. Our first round, a 2-star talent, no-look touchdown pass. Right there, just pulled the Steph Curry, zipped it, twisted his head to the left, didn't even watch it because he knew it was a swish. I've talked about it ad nauseum at this point, but my point is he's living a Josh Allen type story. Essentially no offers, just Norfolk State giving him a chance, and he might just become one of the best in the business. Send it in the house here, 4th down, shut it down, give me that ball. This LSU team's proven they know ball. They got us within 10 seconds, just trying to get into a good spot. Coach wants us to take 3, but I think 5 seconds is enough time to evaluate if a play is there, like this one, and take 6 instead of 3. Take some chances. We know we need to in the Fiesta Bowl. This is our kind of party, and we are jiving, just tearing up LSU Tiger defense. Seeing all these pieces contribute in such a big way has got to be one of the most satisfying parts of a rebuild. It's why Mike Vick does what Mike Vick does. It's why he signed up for the grind of Norfolk. 3rd and 2, just quick dump over the middle. Figures. Go figure. He knows how to rack up touchdowns and get his greasy hands all over the pigskin. Call me crazy, but I feel like we're in the driver's seat. What a performance so far from your Spartans, man. Because this is Mike Vick's final year to prove his team is a national championship caliber team. Go figure, Brazil. It's your party. It's your world as a linebacker. We're just living in it. Before I was so rudely interrupted by an amazing defensive play, I was going to say we have enough of a cushion, little time left. Let's check out the phenom quarterback, D'Anthony Jones, the future of this program that we're not going to see because Vick, in this rebuild, we only had 5 years and we're looking like we're about to do it. Doesn't mean I don't want to scratch your itch. I don't know about you, but I've been itching to see what this product looks like on the field. And his first play is intercepted. Maybe I got to get him out. D'Anthony came in there and made things interesting, but it was so late in the game that it didn't even matter. Thankfully, Ellis Berry did his part on the defense to get that win. And now it's the moment you've all been waiting for, the main event. It's a Georgia-Norfolk rematch in the championship game. To be the best, you got to beat the best. So that is what we exactly plan to do in the big game. All the blood, sweat, and tears, the hard work, the dedication, the perseverance through one win after 2 seasons has amounted to a championship berth in year 5. All the scouts have their eyes on Bordeaux now after being under-recruited. He has thrusted himself in the picture as one of the better quarterbacks to consider selecting in the NFL draft after he graduates this fall. Got it down to 1st and goal. Quick cash in, cash out. We're headed to the office. Bordeaux loves to reward team success with more success. Get ready for the floodgates to open. We have Georgia's name. We get extra chippy, serving up extra special plays for our rival that we've developed over the years. Gorgeous start here from Frank, and he's going to deliver down to his running back, and he's going to fight every last inch, scoring the touchdown. Forrest on his head. I got to give massive kudos to our running back game. Bean when he's healthy. Forrest as a receiving back. He has a knack for the ball, especially the receiver room. They're always finding ways to get open and move the needle. Point blank, we have a complete roster deserving of a national championship. The rise has been impressive. Goes to show Deion Sanders' success with Colorado, Mike Vick's success with Norfolk State. Someone's got to study the influence of NFL legends, celebrity players, and the impact they have on the squad and the young generation that wants to play for them. That's exactly how I would chalk up what happened here in Norfolk. Ryan Pugsley and Georgia offense coming alive in the second half. So we'll need to respond and do it methodically, not worried about the capability. We got more than capable people to respond. I'm just looking for who wants to be the next hero, who wants to be a Norfolk State legend. Figures does. Bartu sure does. He has set the bar for this program and any quarterback coming after him as Fogg just shakes his way through the trenches, shrugging off Bulldog defenders. Fitting. Vick wanting to go 2-0 against the Dogs. But who's going to have the last laugh? Will it be the Bulldogs or the Spartans? What an insane run did I just witness. Everyone was flopping and flailing, and that man just ran through 8 dudes. But hey, this is how we like it. Underdogs back against the wall, in control, destiny. Here we come. Spreading the love across the entire offense. What a find. Getting loose. That's Forrest. Run, Forrest, friggin' run. A twitchy running back's hard to keep up as a defender. You're gonna have a hard time keeping up with our guy when he's that twitchy. Why settle for just 3 when we got time on our hands to go for the win? Not trying to go too fast, but fast enough. As Figures breaks free. 30 seconds remain. This drive continues into the red zone, keeping it inbounds. Figures out the 1. We drew up the perfect play last time at the 1, so I'm going to try this RPO again. If Fogg looks good to me, Fogg looks good to me almost. Trusting in the run game that's gotten us here. That is a walk-in, potential game-sealing, national championship winning touchdown. Forrest in this running room, unexpected glory from these players. 3-star, out of the box. I just love to see it. And another part of the team I forgot to give kudos to, and no, I've given the defensive line their flowers. It's the cornerbacks, all freshmen potentially out here holding it down. If the rebuild continued past this, they would become one of the most fearsome cornerback rooms ever to have graced a secondary in college football. Time expires. There's everyone everywhere to lock that up. And that's gonna do it. Congratulations, Norfolk State, the Spartans, champions of the world. Georgia came so far, yet fell. They've already had some championships in their trophy room. Give it to Norfolk. Give it to Mike Vick and his hard work. This is what dreams are made of. Right there, Mike Vick hoisting up the trophy. We've done it. It's a Christmas miracle, a holiday special. Hope everyone's been having a festive and fun time, staying safe out there and enjoying friends, family, and college football. Frank Bartu capped off his collegiate career with a bang. And hey, man, that's going to seal it. If you're soaking it up with your boy KingSponge and you enjoy College Football 25, Team Builder, rebuilds, all the good stuff, hit the subscribe button and soak it up with me along the way. Your support, much appreciated. As always, let me know what you want to see next. I'll catch you in the next college football video. It's Ben, your boy. Peace out.